Sergio Jose Martinez has been deported from this country no fewer than 20 separate times. He was recently arrested once again in Portland, Oregon. He'd been living on the street. He was addicted to meth. Now, in a sane society, he would have been deported a 21st time. The feds would have been notified. We'd have taken some measure to keep him from coming back again. But we're not sane. We're insane on this question of immigration. And so instead, Martinez was released because Portland is a sanctuary city that refuses to enforce American immigration laws. So guess what happened? Martinez has been arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting a 65-year-old woman. Jose Aristimuño is a former deputy press secretary over the DNC, and he joins us tonight. So isn't this exactly the reason you don't want sanctuary cities in the first place? If you don't enforce the law, people are going to do appalling things to your citizens, and it just happened.
Look, Tucker, the real issue here is that what this man did, number one, it's horrible. It shouldn't happen again. But the real issue here is that this is an outlier. This type of case doesn't happen often. Majority of sanctuary cities are doing well economically. A majority of sanctuary cities are actually safer. Sanctuary cities, by the way, not only that, but what we have right now.
I'm sorry. Let us kind of interrupt your talking points. We actually have data on this. Studies have been done.
I have data. This isn't talking.
I don't think that you do. Last year, University of California at Riverside did a study of 55 sanctuary cities. Now, maybe they're like some right-wing stranglehold and you don't believe the numbers, but here's what they found. There was basically no statistical difference between the 55 sanctuary cities and the rest of the country, but if anything, they concluded, and I'm quoting now, violent crime was slightly higher in sanctuary cities. So there's literally, on what basis are you saying it's not true? I mean, I hate to get caught up in details here, but this is a study, the biggest of its kind, that showed that, and you have on your side what?
The real fact is that our current president, as you know, is trying to defund.
Oh, okay. You don't want.
No, wait, but let me speak. Let me speak.
Blow right past the study.
Let me speak. Okay. Let me speak, though. Look, the real issue here is that Donald Trump is trying to defund sanctuary cities, and what that is actually going to do is that our police, or men in uniform, are actually going to be less safe. You don't want that, right? You don't want policemen to have less bulletproofs on the street, do you?
Okay, Jose. Can we just stick to the facts? Let's just stick to the facts here. No sanctuaries, no police department has been defunded. By the way, cities pay for their own police departments. I mean, please.
Police departments should be keeping citizens safe.
Okay. But here's the point. You have a guy who was deported 20 times. He was a homeless meth head. He gets arrested again, and rather than tell the feds about it, they release him, and he raped somebody, allegedly.
We should deport him, and he should never be able to come back to this country ever again.
20 times. Wait, but hold on. 20 times. So my question is, if someone will come back 20 times after being deported,
that's usually not the case. That's usually not the case.
How about 3 times? How many times is too many? How many times do you say this guy does not care about U.S. law? And we don't want people here who don't care about U.S. law.
We need comprehensive immigration reform.
What's the answer?
We need to secure borders. Look, we need to secure borders, but we also need to recognize that a majority of undocumented immigrants, and you know this, Tucker, are not criminals. The FBI has said this time and time again. Less than 5% of undocumented immigrants are criminals.
I wonder why this attachment to illegal aliens. Here you have an American citizen who apparently was
undocumented, but okay, you don't know the term.
No, actually, the legal term in federal documents is illegal alien. It's not a racist term. It's a legal term in federal paperwork to this day, including under the Obama administration and Bill Clinton. It's illegal alien. Okay, so slow down with that. But here's the question. At what point do you say an American citizen is getting hurt, was hurt, I'm taking her side over the illegal alien? Why do you have to make excuses for people like this every single time?
I'm not making excuses, okay? Number one, I'm not defending the undefendable. This man should be deported. He should never be allowed to come back into the United States of America. By the way, that doesn't mean we need to eliminate sanctuary cities. We need to make sure that we secure borders. We need to make sure that we have comprehensive immigration reform.
Then what is a sanctuary city? I don't understand. Okay, but I don't understand. I mean, comprehensive immigration reform, sanctuary cities, these are political terms. How many times do you have to be deported before we say we're not going to cover for you anymore? We're not going to protect you anymore. What's the number? 3 times, 8 times, 20 times?
There isn't a number. If you're a criminal, no, that's not what I'm saying. You just said that. Maybe that's what you believe. I don't believe that. If you're a criminal and you're an undocumented immigrant, you should not be in this country. You and I agree.
How about if you're a homeless meth head, as this guy was? You haven't been convicted of a violent crime, but you're living on the streets smoking meth, and you've got meth-related psychosis, and you've been deported 20 times. Why should we protect a guy like that?
He shouldn't come back into the country in the first place.
But why should he have come back on the 18th time and the 19th
This
time?
This is not about protecting him, Tucker. This is about making sure that our borders are secure so he never comes back in the first place.
What are you talking about? Why you could hand him over to the feds and they might lock him up? I don't understand. Like what is your aim here?
Okay,
why are you covering for
sure.
a guy like this?
I'm not covering for him. I'm not covering. Let me tell you something. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
I'm not being silly. I'm being sincere.
You are being silly. No, well, it doesn't look like it. Look, let me tell you something, Tucker. Policemen are supposed to protect their communities. They're not supposed to be immigration officers, okay? You might not understand that, but they're different things, okay? The federal government is supposed to execute federal law.
So they shouldn't have arrested this guy? Is that what you're saying? Like the first 20 times? I don't understand. If they had taken this seriously, if liberals had taken immigration law seriously, this guy wouldn't be accused.
We take him very seriously.
Really? Because if you had, he wouldn't be accused. Not you specifically, but if we were like, we're not putting up with this crap.
He shouldn't be allowed
into this country. You keep sneaking back in, we're detaining you.
He shouldn't be allowed into this country. He shouldn't be allowed into this country. Okay. Sanctuary cities are doing good economically. Sanctuary cities are actually safer than non-sanctuary cities. And those are facts. The
hilarious thing about the Democratic Party is you think people are so stupid that you can keep repeating the same talking point even when it's proved wrong. Now, you can say they're doing better economically. We can debate it. I don't have the numbers on that. I know they're not safer because we just had a study on it. So why don't you just like bow to superior knowledge on this question and just give up that talking point because it's not true.
You're funny.
No, I'm not even joking. But let me just press you one last question on this final matter. If someone has been deported repeatedly and continues to come back, will you concede that that person has demonstrated he does not respect American law?
Our borders should be secure. If someone gets deported, they should not be allowed to come back into this country.
Okay, but he did. Then why didn't Portland call the feds and say, hey, man, we've got a guy who's been deported 20 times. He clearly doesn't care about our laws. We don't want him in our city. Why don't you guys take him away? Why didn't they do that?
This isn't a police issue.
No, but why wouldn't you call the feds and have them do it? But they didn't because they were protecting him.
How about this? We make our borders safer so they don't come back. Don't try to.
So we need a wall? Is that what you're saying?
No, we need comprehensive immigration reform.
No, but hold on. Well, wait a second. You say you're for securing our borders. Why not just build a big concrete wall with guard towers and dogs? That would prevent people from coming in illegally. Why are you against that?
You're right. Maybe you should go to Mexico, which maybe you haven't. Actually, there's a wall there already. Maybe you didn't know that. Maybe your viewers should know that. There's a wall already in Mexico, okay? So why don't we put a wall with Canada? Come on, that is silly. We don't need a wall. There are smart.
We don't need a wall. We need to secure the border, but we don't need a wall. You know, you guys are so. Why don't you just say what you really think, which is I don't believe in borders. Anyone who wants to come here should be allowed to because they're going to be our voters. No, because that's what you think. They're going to be our voters.
We're a nation of laws. Nation of immigrants, nation of laws. Two things. Very simple.
I would love to go to the meeting where you guys concoct your talking points. I'd like to say, you know what? Those don't make sense. They're at odds with each other. This is like low IQ stuff.
This is the truth. This is the truth. These aren't talking points.
We'll let our viewers decide. Thanks, Jose, for joining us tonight.